I know you're tired, your setup's so close breaking, but there's strength within you even when you feel weak. Keep fighting! Gotta love it!
Hola, hola, hola. How are you guys doing? Let me get my glasses on. I'm sorry, it took me an extra second to get in here. I was having connectivity issues with the internet. What is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Hola, wait, FBB. NOD forever. No. What is going on? Hey, what's up? It's Gills, Skills, Christina, and Son Ghost Squad.
Hey! What up, everybody? Hope you guys
Be pimping that shit. It is great to see you guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope all of you guys are freaking well. Nobody has told you guys today or lately. You guys are all freaking awesome and definitely doing a great job. I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you very much. All right. And so, hola, what's up, Malvin Jackson? Hola, thinking of others, my friend. Wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for coming through. All right. So, there's a couple things I would like to go over. Hola, Max. Hi, Jacob. Hey, Tams the Killer Kiwi, Stony, Benny Loco, Christina and Son. We got Irene 420 Iron Horse. Hi, Iron Fire Horse. Excuse-moi. Sorry. No. ZPD Survival. Angela M. Is it Getty or GD? I think it's Getty. Getty Lee, welcome. Thank you guys all for coming through. No, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature either. Brian cannot tell because he can't. He be pimping it too much. Coffee music. Indeed, you be pimping, homie. Troll King 41, welcome, my friend. Queen of Hearts, LA. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Please shout out in the chats of the land. Thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. If you guys can, let me know how the audio is. I'd appreciate that too. Just making sure we are good to go. Shout outs. What's up, Wild Style? Wild Style. No. Thank you guys for coming through. What I do want to, frozen nerves. You guys are awesome. All right. So I do want to go over this. Thank you, ZPD. I appreciate the feedback, you guys. You guys are pimping. Thank you. I want to go over this coronavirus. There's a couple things I'd like to discuss, to be honest. But first, I'm going to go ahead and start off by sharing this very deep, emotional, I guess you could say even, song that I think everybody should first off hear because no, this is not my first live stream. Thank you though. Honestly, I feel everybody needs to hear this because it's honestly very important. You know what I mean? And I hope that it inspires somewhat of some kind of change, you know, because we all need it for real. So, without further ado, un segundo. Oh, I gotta fix my audio. I'm so sorry. Hold on one second. My apologies. A girl went to heaven 'cause she got. At the age of 7, a girl went to heaven 'cause she got shot when the drive-by happened. And at the age of 8, a girl got raped, but she act like everything's okay. And at the age of 9, a boy cut lines on both of his arms 'cause he wants to die. And this is no lie, this is real life. We need our world to change, 'cause kids are dying every day.
and mothers are crying, and every day we need our world to change. Our world to change. In my world, there are boys and girls who don't know their worth, so they kill themselves, and people do drugs 'cause they just want love, but they have no one who will give them a hug. And people are shot while some people just watch and press record, 'cause no one have a heart. And children are sick and they just want to live, but they have no cure, so they leave their parents and die. And they die. Oh no, I want my world to change. It has to change. In the 7th grade, this girl was raped, and tears rolled down from her face, from all the pain that she received on that day. And at the age of 12, there was this girl who had gotten bullied, so she killed herself, and she left a note saying sorry for being ugly. And that was this boy. He was 5, and a car drove by and shot him 2 times, and he was dead on the street. People watched him bleed. Their mothers cried, and their fathers cried. They're just thinking, why would someone take their life? Why would someone make somebody want to kill themselves?
Go online right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Sparrow.
Change our world. We need to change our world. We need to change our world. Why did you lie to me? You was my everything. You meant the world to me. But now you're gone. Now I just can't believe how you're not here with me. You said you'll be there for me, but now you're gone.
Alright, guys. Sorry if I made that a little bit too much emotional, but that's to kind of like get it going. You know what I mean? Who I have here is the awesome Rex Bear from Leak Project. I did ask permission to share this. He approved, and I definitely appreciate him for that. Much love, Olsi Taiga. Take care of yourself, my friend. It was great to see you. But yes, this song is so beautiful about something so sad in today's society. That's right, Gil Skills. It's actually very sad what all of us are going through, especially our youth. You know, you kind of have to sit there and pay attention to our kids because they are honestly our future. You know, they are what is going to continue to have the human society, the human race, or whatever. I don't really call it a race. I just say race. I'm used to saying that. But people in general, you know? And so I wanted to start this with that song to try to bring a little bit of feeling to some people because some people really just don't care, you know? And with the world that we live in today, it's kind of It's kind of sad, you know? But that part, no. I appreciate you guys coming through. Hola, random, what's going on? That's the world our children live in. Let's fix it. That's right. For real. You're right. I agree 100%, Benny. I'm doing what I can to try to make that change happen in a sense by being here right now and by doing this, you know? And so we're going to go ahead and play this first video and hopefully this will show a little bit of what is going on with the coronavirus in China. Yeah.
已经下班了，4点多钟下班，已经在那里崩溃了半天了。真的那种感染，比别个电视那里报道的可怕多了，蛮多。他们医生出来的估计大概有10万人，我们今天那里10几个医生，一天都看了100多个，蛮多都已经不行了。没得位置住，然后家属这里闹说政府的不是说到你们那里治吗？但是政府让我们开始治，根本什么物资都没有，他们想办助燃都办不了。我觉得后续完全不行，我们在那里上一天班，整个人的心里都快崩溃了，都已经受不了了。他们在那求我们的时候，我们都一点办法都没得，就看到一个好生生的人，叫他慢慢的都不行，所以你们在屋里一定要做好防护，千万不要等到时候相信政府，我觉得全部都得要靠自己。
就住在医院附近不回来，免得把病毒带回来了。我也想住在医院的，不可能的，医院根本就不提供住啊！我宁可24小时上班，我也不愿意让我下班回家呀。我刚结婚，我为什么要跟一个人结婚害他全家呀？我的天哪！现在是说谁去就谁去，涂慧倩昨天已经接到消息，直接去金银潭了。她刚刚生孩子，孩子还没2岁呢，都不知道会不会叫妈妈。各位长辈们，我是金慧，我目前还在武汉汉口这个疫区，我向大家汇报一下，目前我们整个湖北甚至全国的疫情情况。现在已经有9万多人次，这个病毒的传染几率是多少呢？就是一个人传染之后，如果说他没有被有效的隔离的话，或者说进行有效的治疗的话，他会传染给他身边的14个人，那么这个基数就很大了。现在正值春节假期之际，天南地北的亲戚朋友子女都往家里赶，都是为了阖家团圆，在一起吃一顿团年饭。现在情况特殊，我希望大家不要出门，不要聚会，不要聚餐，春节年年有，只要人平安，大家都可以随时随地的在一起。我现在想大家已经在这里躺了一个上午了，有的人已经是凌晨死的。
到现在没有人来处理。然后医生、护士还有病人全部都在这种病下面工作。这就是定点医院的现状，没有任何人管。刚刚找领导，没有领导，领导也解决不了。这怎么走啊？
这是在打针的现场，一个男的手扶的他吊起来讲，把全部往地下撒，但是没有人去抢。拖着一个是，好黑了我日。
出的路全部都断了，都封了，挖断，大型挖机挖断，不让走亲戚，不让进，不让出啊！路都封了啊，都封了。
哦吼，湖南跟湖北完全隔离，省界封了。
我想问一下，是武汉的身份证不能进了吗？
武汉的身份证只许回武汉。
但是我在北京工作，我只是最近回武汉。那
是因为我的车牌是武汉的，我来自武汉，我已经配合你们做了4次的体温测试，我跟你们的政府工作人员也沟通好，今天早上7点半在这家等他们，是不是？我现在已经等到了9点多钟，你们政府的工作人员迟不到，现在所有酒店的人企图封锁我们。
That's exactly why I'm sharing this Deal Skills for real. And just a reminder, no hate is tolerated in this chat. Thank you. Cheers, everybody.
有没有道理？我就问你有没有道理，你还说什么？你还说什么诅咒我的话？
他说你怎么了？我什么时候诅咒你了？他说我们没有公德心。
说我没有公德心啊！看一下，所有的武汉人都是没有公德心的，你们信吗？
这是沪昆高速，都是往上海进的车。往年春节上海就是空空如也，没人来上海。你看看，全都堵的，一直在堵。
看这人呢，黑压压的。
方便了，算了，叫我滚蛋，回家，不然跟我这样说。我没有闹，这边藏那么多怎么办？
叫他们院长过来看看。
院长谁过来？
你让丁章那个去跟。
没用，我去了。
我走站台了。
嗯，我不知道哪个是院长，我去了，我连1、2、3、4、5、4长都先都打了。
不要医生，我不要医生，我有医生，我打死人家，我能看病，你把那个病人。
七里庙啊，七里庙是燃了的了，走到王河里倒了啊！你晓得怎么回事的？
恐不恐慌，严不严重，看你们还戴不戴口罩，都当是小事。可能是现在武汉市是个么情况？
有人倒在车厢里面了。
炖个汤，然后煮点烧粉。你别哭了。
武汉天河机场，武汉天河机场马上就要封闭了，不让走了，停班。公安的都到了，我们送公安的来封机场来了。
在今天中午的1点钟左右，5个高速的这个公交收费站也已经封路了，所有出城的车辆人员都禁止出行。
This stuff is insane, everybody. Way worse than what we're being told.
Hello， 大家好。希望每个能看到我视频的朋友们都能够比较珍惜我这个视频，因为实在是发之不易。在我们中国大陆，是吧？要翻墙，要克服各种各样的困难，而且网络延迟特别的卡，所以我也是被逼无奈才跑到这个位置，是吧？希望有更多的华人同胞，有更多心地善良的人能够看到，能够注意到这次武汉肺炎所谓的冠状病毒这次疫情的严重性和我们本地人生活的一个实际情况。现在整个武汉市所有的交通枢纽、公共交通全部被停掉了，然后据说加油站也停止加油了。然后呢，我不禁有几点疑问，比方说你家里的亲人有个什么高血压呀、心脏病啊，现在需要去医院，怎么去呢？打那个急救电话120，各位可以试一下，根本就打不通，完全就打不通，一直是忙音。再比方说，你怀疑自个儿是否染上了这次的武汉肺炎吧，你想去医院做一个那个诊断，你根本就去不了，你怎么去？医院人满为患， 医生他不叫你去挂号什么的，就排队，你排几个小时可能都不搭理你，你本来没什么事儿的，你去排队，可能就交叉。然后目前所有的一些情况就是医疗全部都瘫痪了，或者说混乱不堪。我很多内部的在医院工作的朋友给我反馈的信息就是，你进了医院，也就是给你打点消炎药，给你打点激素，说白了，然后一样也是等死，就是很赤裸裸的等死。你自个儿身体强壮能扛过去，你就扛过去了，你扛不过去也就挂掉了。然后最他妈搞笑的就是有些疑似病例，实际上他可能就是，但是他们医疗系统可能因为缺那个什么病毒试纸，或者说因为他们医疗资源跟不上，他就叫你回家自行隔离。我请问一下，他妈的，这个地球上还能找出第二个国家是这么扯淡吗？不要说你是不是疑似病例，哪怕是1/1000的概率，肯定也要对你进行比较完善的一个诊断和判断吧？怎么能这随随便便就叫你回家呢？万一你是一个超级病毒携带者，那不就等于说政府公开的，或者说医疗单位部门公开的叫你带着病毒回社区吗？进行交叉感染吗？作为一个个人，一个普通老百姓，你的医疗知识，你的隔离知识再他妈牛逼，也比不上医院的专业隔离吧？你整个地球还能找出第二个国家、第二个政府像这个样子搞吗？我眼下来到 YouTube 发这个视频，我没有任何的目的，我只是觉得人活这一辈子，是吧？有时候在必要的时候，你得说点真话。人的一生不可避免的，有的时候为了活下去，为了各种目的，你不得不去撒些谎，说些假话。在某一刻，比方说眼下，我觉得有必要掏心窝子摸着自个儿良心，说点真话出来。现在的武汉市就他妈的跟地狱一样，本来是从古至今一个非常文明。孙中山当年是吧，闹辛亥革命的时候，就从武汉市开的第一枪。当时建议要把武汉市建成像美国纽约一样的现代化城市。现在呢？现在成什么样子了？你看到各种各样的滑稽、搞笑、悲惨，时时刻刻你都能从推特或者说从一些网络渠道上看到熟悉的街道、熟悉的口音，看到他们倒地死亡，或者说各种情况，那些悲剧。今天是大年初一啊，本来是一个非常高兴喜气的日子，这个时间段，但是眼下你觉得我们武汉人民或者说一个中国人能高兴得起来吗？然后我希望所有的海外华人能够明白一点，我们中国人，起码我或者说我身边的同龄人20-30来岁的80后90后，没有谁是傻逼，没有一个人被洗脑了。我们脑袋里清清楚楚明白的不得了，像金灿荣那一批也就忽悠一下傻白甜，也就忽悠一下小朋友罢了。像我们都太他妈了解这个国家是什么性质了，我们是没有办法，我们没有发声的渠道，我们没有能力，我们的身体是肉，是血肉，比不过钢筋子弹和坦克。我希望所有的能看到我视频的海外华人同胞帮帮我们，起码不需要你们花1分钱，也不需要你们干什么，无非用手指点一点，扩大一些曝光度。我也不靠这个东西赚钱吃饭，就希望制造一些舆论压力，让中国政府明白，你们不要逃避责任，跑到他妈的青海一个了不拉屎的地方，是吧？做秀，什么指导疫情，你指导你妈逼呢？你把别人都当傻逼呢？我操你妈的！现在我们做人会换位思考吧。如果你现在你是武汉人，你生活在这个土地上，是吧？我们对位交换一下，你的亲人朋友，你熟悉的人莫名其妙的染上病了， 不是在他们不配合，是在他们完全没有办法、无奈的情况下，现在得不到医治，得不到确诊，只能活活的等待病痛的折磨，等待死亡。人他妈一生，命就一条，就一次啊，死了就没了呀。而且眼下这个病毒并不像官方宣传的什么发热咳嗽，而且不发热不发烧一样也可以传播，而且不光是通过口腔传播，病毒可以通过你的眼睛都可以，这个已经是证实了的，很多内部的医疗工作人员已经证实了这个情况。而且在封城的前半个月、1个月，返乡春运回去了，已经走了100-200万人了。他们怎么办？你怎么防？要把整个中国都给封住吗？与其这封那封的，你早干嘛去了？所以我希望所有看到我视频的人真的好好珍惜我发这个视频，真的是太不容易了。我随时都是冒着被抓到公安局派出所的风险，在这里就希望把一些真实的客观的情况告诉大家。我们老百姓真的是很无奈，并不是所有人都被洗脑了，我们也希望是吧，过上那种民主自由开放，我们也希望不翻墙就能上 YouTube 上 Twitter， 但问题是根本就做不到，我们能怎样呢？是吧？高房价、高物价、通货膨胀，他们赵家人出了任何问题就捡我们老百姓的韭菜、剪羊毛，大家都看得雪亮的。你看我身边的朋友、同学，只要是有钱的、有能力的、能移民的，早他妈走了。谁都不傻，我们只是没有办法。希望大家帮帮我们，我们起码眼下我们武汉人真的是太需要国际舆论、国际社会的关注了。我们眼下真的是太无奈了，就2个字：无奈。
They need help, you guys. For real. That's why I did this, you know? I had to. I'm doing my best not to cry right now because this is emotional, you know? And it makes me sad. It makes me really sad that there's so many people out there that really are just nasty beings, you know? It hurts. And this isn't to scare anybody. This is actually to help create awareness. You know? Help create awareness and be able to be prepared. This is horrible. Look, people are turned away by their frightened family because they go there with gifts like, hey, I'm coming to, like, you know, reconcile and get help from you guys. And they get chased away. It's fucking sad, dude. You know? This is actually what kind of scared me. Hold on. I need to share this whole picture right here. That's some real shit. And right now, I'm gonna go ahead and share the information about all of this stuff, like actual legitimate information that was presented by doctors just a little bit ago. And this is actually this is the YouTube channel Leak Project, and this is Rex Bear, awesome person, honestly, my favorite YouTuber, no offense to anybody else. Him and Arwayne Steiger, I've been following them for about 3 or 4 years now, and I love the information they end up presenting to their audience. You know, they do thorough research and they actually present it in a proper manner. And this guy, he's fucking hilarious. You gotta check out Zorg too. But I'm gonna go ahead and push play on this because this is very informational. This is actually a a couple different physicians and scientists that are actually presenting this information and that have done the research. And that's why I watched this stuff today and I was just like, man, this is shitty. What am I going to do? You know, because I have to prepare myself. I have 2 kids I got to make sure are good, you know? And so that's why I'm presenting this to you guys, to help bring awareness and help you become prepared.
Leak Project, thank you very much for joining us this edition. I have several guests with us today. I've got Leah Shaper with us. I've got Diamond, both of them from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, and Dr. Paul Cottrell. We just look at this amazing bunch. So we're all going to bring some information to the table, and this is very important.
He normally doesn't look serious, trust me.
Not just the hype, but what is going on in the
Cheers, girlfriend.
epicenter, essentially Wuhan, China, and surrounding
I
areas.
feel it is intentional, and I feel that it's bioengineering, like it's
factories out in certain
warfare,
provinces in China, as well as the Shanghai airport. And millions are under certain orders for no travel. There's a lot going on with the coronavirus, so we're going to talk about it now. Dr. Paul Cottrell is just, I should
That's
say,
right, Austin.
pretty much an expert in the field of biology.
Exactly.
Now, let me give you a quick rundown. He's got a wonderful YouTube channel and a website, and the website is the studio dash, REYKJAVIK.com. I'll leave the link in the video description box, but quick description. Paul received his BS and MBA from Wayne State University, PhD from Walden University, and pre-medical curriculum from Fordham University. He is currently at Harvard University for an ALM in biology. His research includes using chaos theory to model financial markets and economic emergence. His work on economic emergence contains new theoretical concepts of economic evolution and the creation of self-organized structures. In addition, Dr. Paul Cottrell has published works from his Harvard University studies in genomics, neurobiology, neurosurgery, endocrinology, and microbiota, and reptilian shapeshifters. Wow, super exciting. I probably said half those words wrong, but English is my first language. So thank you very much for being a guest.
Just so you guys know, this was recorded earlier during his live stream. Hola, Revel, thanks for joining. But this was during Rex's live stream, which was not broadcasted too long ago, and I did get permission to rebroadcast it. So I felt as though there was a lot of very important facts and information that will follow up what is actually really going on in China. You know what I mean? So just throwing that out there, everybody. Much love, and thank you guys all for joining. I really do appreciate it. ZPD, that's tight. Cheers.
On the program. Hello. Good to see everybody. How's everybody doing?
Are you pimping that shit?
That's it? Just an okay?
Okay. It's just okay.
I know I totally bombed the intro, but
no, it's all right.
Man.
It's all right.
So, okay. I got an okay. That's good. Yeah. That's good. Leah's not saying anything. Leah's staying muted, and Diamond did say hello. So it's good to see everybody. No, this is real serious. So that's how I deal with serious issues sometimes, is humor. And even though it's not very funny, it just makes it awkward. I am the king of awkwardness. But no, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, I looked at the numbers they're throwing out, and
thank you, Stoney.
You know, Dr. Cottrell, Paul, give us a rundown on how you know so much about the coronavirus and kind of what makes you an expert.
Listen to this guy.
Thank you for being a guest. Really.
Okay, well, I think it's twofold. One is the chaos theory work that I've done at a PhD level and a postdoctoral level, but also my my curriculum at Harvard dealt with genomics and dealt with cancer biology. So a lot of research in cancer biology deals with infecting tissues, infecting cells. Certain cancers are caused by viruses, not many, but a few. But virology is part of that curriculum. So we had to learn how to use the NIH databases to do this type of research. So what I did was I looked at the sequence that the researchers in China provided, the NIH, that's posted actually on Wikipedia. And anyone could click that link and go to the actual database and look at the actual genomic sequence. So with my knowledge in genomics, what I did was I did a blast, what is called a blast search, and I compared that sequence to other organisms to see what type of homology, what type of this RNA, it's an RNA virus. So what type of organisms have a high similarity sequence? So when I did that, about 20 or so organisms popped up, and they all were bat SARS. So basically, through this, and I did a video that people can watch, but I show exactly how to do the blast search on this website. So what it shows, and I might be able to share some pictures. I can try, but basically what it shows is that the Wuhan virus, or this novel coronavirus, which is a family of viruses, has very high homology to the bat SARS virus. And I have a theory that this potential strain of coronavirus is a mixture of about 4 of the bat SARS viruses, where it makes it more virulent, where they're in the genome. It's about a 30,000 base pair genome, okay? And the first half of the genome deals with replication, which is called replicase. It codes for a protein that replicates the RNA and helps to produce some of the early proteins it needs. And near the end of the genome is what is called the S protein, and that is the surface coating that hooks onto tissue when it's infecting a host. So when someone breathes in that virus, that S protein is hooking onto a receptor that's in the lung, and it allows that virus to get into the cell and start to replicate. So I did.
So
anyone could do this. Yeah,
Dr. Paul, for those that are wondering, and let me just break it down in layman's terms. What it appears to be like, if you go look at the database, is that if you look at all of the existing bat SARS varieties of viruses that are known, that the novel variety that is now the Wuhan virus, it actually appears to be all of those combined, where in the past, the other varieties weren't as infectious or didn't spread as easy, and so on and so forth. This Wuhan novel variety appears to be all of the bat varieties potentially combined, which is a rarity in virology, unless, of course, it was somehow manufactured. And I think that's what he's getting to. And I just wanted to jump in that before you go on, Rex, that our insider just told us, who's over there, that there is some more extreme lockdowns, higher death rates and higher infection rates than are actually being reported, for a number of reasons that we might get to later in the podcast. But that was just my piece.
I'd just like to add the probability. I also did a video on the probability of this happening through just natural selection in a natural environment.
Yes, Stony, you got to listen to this right here. This guy gives you facts, like hardcore facts, in my opinion, about what is really going on and how he honestly believes that this was created. This isn't just some virus that, you might happen to catch. This is actually a multiplied strain it's warfare. That's right, Red. Exactly that, for sure. So thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate you being here and listening.
And it's a low probability for these big chunks to just randomly appear in the front of the genome and in the back of the genome on areas that make this virus really susceptible to increased infection. You know, it's focusing on the replication side, and it's focusing on the attachment to cellular receptors in our body. So it seems to me that this virus was it evolved, and it was taken from bat SARS, which I can actually give you the number. I think the virus that evolved from was a KF294457.1. This is the name of that actual genomic code. And that evolved, maybe naturally, maybe not. And that evolved into a strand that was very similar to an MG strand. So when someone does this blast list, they can see the two MG strands, which are a more virulent bat SARS. And to me, it seems as though that it was possible that individuals or an individual took big chunks of virulent sections of previous bat SARS viruses and put it into this Wuhan strain. And when you do the probability of this just naturally happening and being by a weapons lab 20 miles away, it's a very low probability, very, very low probability. So it's it kind of lends itself to, thinking, well, you know what, this might be a leak from a weapons lab or a research lab. I'm not saying that means that it was done nefariously, but this is a potential problem. And as it spreads and people get sicker, other components of society will start to break down. The economics, the infrastructure. We're already seeing the financial markets showing some problems, especially in travel, in the oil market. The S&P 500, went down today. The luxury brands have been selling off. We're also hearing that medical supplies are starting to run out. If you're treating just one patient and you have a whole staff of, let's say, 15 doctors and nurses that are treating this one patient, every time that they go in and out of that room, they have to declothe, and that material needs to be incinerated. They can't be reused. So they're going to run out of masks. They're going to be running out of gowns. They're going to be running out of goggles and stuff like this. And a lot of the manufacturing of these products are made in China. So if there is a worldwide contagion that takes place, we will not have the means to be able to curtail it.
That's right, Scotty.
And let me jump on. Let me jump on here for a minute if I can, because you're bringing up some great points. And certainly a hospital, if you've got one worker that gets sick and they don't realize it at first, or with the incubation period, there's a lot of very bad possibilities there. So, but at the same time, we look at these events that have taken place in the past. First, swine flu was
you
supposed
are
to be
very
that was
correct.
supposed to be this huge
ZPD
catastrophic
survival
event.
for real.
We got through that okay. I looked at the numbers.
Everything
and
is made
yes,
in
people died,
China.
but it wasn't
Everything
nearly as bad as some of these projections. Now, with that being said, I don't know the genome sequence of the swine flu versus this. And when you talked to me off the air and you said, "Hey, look, man, I normally don't get, I'm not the kind of person to get nervous about things, but this makes me nervous." And I got to say, I respect you getting a hold of me, because check this out, folks. This was such a fascinating synchronicity here, the way that this happened. So Paul and I were supposed to, I'm just going to call you Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul and I were supposed to do a podcast last year. You remember Frankenstein, all the opportunities Frankenstein, the van has had. Well, we had to reschedule. We didn't end up rescheduling. And then recently with the coronavirus, there was an email that Paul had sent to me. I hadn't even read it yet. I just saw the headline a couple of days ago. Yesterday, I'm going through my suggested videos, and one of Dr. Paul's videos came up about the coronavirus, and I clicked on it and I started watching it for a minute, and I didn't get a chance to look at the whole thing. And then Diamond sends me an email and said, hey, we got to get Dr. Paul Cottrell on the show. And so that whole matrix, and that was within minutes after I watched that video from you, Dr. Paul. So I'm like, dude, there's something here. We need to talk about this. And with that being said, the numbers that I've looked at so far are at 3% approximately mortality rates. What they're giving us, it's about 3%. So let me add to that. Okay.
Do want to throw out there, I believe if you click, all right, which way? So I think it's going to be up in this top right-hand corner of the screen for you guys. That little circle that has an eye in it, the information ball thing. If you click on that, I believe I linked Leak Project's Rex Bear's channel on there. So if you guys would like, go ahead and click on that, and it should take you to his channel. If it doesn't work, please let me know and I will fix it. You protect them, Red, by being prepared, trying to stay healthy, eat the proper kind of foods. You know what I mean? Try to prevent it before it ends up becoming a problem.
Could be much higher, but that's the numbers they're giving us. But when I read people leave these comments about the Georgia Guidestones and the Deagle report, the Georgia Guidestones are showing.
Thank you for letting me know, guys. Appreciate it.
Now, they don't say how that happened. So it could be a solar flare. It could be a pole shift. It could be a multitude of possibilities. And the Deagle report, in my opinion, I've been following the Deagle report since 2010, and they've been saying since 2010, and they keep changing the numbers. So I wouldn't put much faith in the Deagle
and
report.
A bit of his
Guidestones
stream was chopping up, so my
don't have a
apologies,
timeline
you
with that.
guys.
So I would use those as a connection point to this this catastrophe. What is interesting though is watch the 201 event that took place in October of last year. They forecasted, they played tabletop exercises of what would happen if a pandemic of a virus, coronavirus. It's not the same strand, but anyway, they used a coronavirus as this exercise took place. And within a few months, 60 million people were infected with this virus. Now, with that being said, they recently came out with their statement, if you go to the website, where they said, we didn't predict this, we just forecasted it with, tabletop exercises. Come on. That's what they said. So they just did an exercise, folks, 2 months before it happened, okay? And it was a little bit of a different corona strain. So just a total coincidence. I want you to know that. Total coincidence. Back to you. Sorry.
Just to add to what.
It wasn't from space, my friend. Much love, Tim, by the way. And everybody, you guys, thank you for joining. But there's actually a place like 4 miles away, I believe, that is a weapons testing place, a facility. You know what I mean? And so, in my opinion, this is engineered. You know what I mean? So, cheers, everybody.
What you were saying, there was since we want to be data driven, right? And not, just have opinions, but some of the data that's showing the epidemiology rates infections, the speed of infection by something called R0 or value. So the R0 value for the Spanish flu in 1918 was calculated at 1.4 to 2.8. Now, what that means is that one individual can infect 1.4
that is
to 2.8
freaking great,
individuals.
Stony Coasty Pass.
So that's the spread of infection. Okay, so the Spanish flu virus was calculated for its infection rate at 1.4 to 2.8. The Ebola, the recent Ebola infection rate was 2.4 to 2.7. With the current data that we have, and it might be skewed, because we don't have, there's data lag and data integrity, so we don't know. But with the data that we have, the R0 value for this new Wuhan virus is 3.6 to 4.0. That means one person can be infected by, one person can infect 3.6 individuals. And this is starting as another data point saying what that nurse said on YouTube. She's covered in a mask and she's speaking in Chinese and it's translated. I don't speak Chinese, so I don't know if it was translated correctly, but she was stating that there was 90,000 individuals infected. All right, what she's stating is far closer to the R0 value that they're stating than the published numbers. They're saying, oh, there's only just under 3,000 in the world that have it. So this, because what is the R0 value saying to the Spanish flu? It is, it's almost double. So there, and another data point, we can see through the BLAST query that the replicase part of the genome and the S protein part of the genome is more virulent. So if you take that the genome is, this virus is stronger, and the epidemiology data that's coming out, that, researchers all over the world are looking at this, on a daily basis, it's showing that this is very contagious. And another data point is that they're already complaining they don't have enough supplies. And they're the major supplier from most of these medical material. They're screaming for help. So, and then not only that, we have out a lot, I don't think a lot of people understand this. Most vaccinations are created not in the United States, they're created outside of the United States. So if you have a pandemic that this potentially could be, do you think that those countries are going to give the United States the vaccinations? Of course not. People are not going to be sharing these vaccinations. They're going to hoard them to protect their own society. This is the part that I'm saying, is that it's not just a biological contagion pillar that we need to worry about. There is a social unrest and social dysfunctional component to this that could lead to very negative externalities. And I live in New York, so there's not, I'm not a prepper. There's no way to prep in New York, but I wish honestly, I wish I was on a farm like, Diamond is, because I'll tell you what, it's being in a high density area I don't feel safe.
No, I mean,
Can I jump in here?
What's that?
I was just asking if I could jump in here, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Absolutely. Please do.
Well, I just for some perspective too, to add to the Spanish flu information. Oh, and by the way, Paul, we are thrilled to have gotten off the East Coast and onto our farm where we are now, because it was not good being in Philadelphia. And I'm originally from New York, and that's the last place I would want to be. Anyway, Spanish flu essentially lasted for 2 years, January of 1918 to December
Cheers,
of
everybody.
2020. It infected 500 million people. It killed somewhere between 50 and 100 million people. That's a really wide range. Mm-hmm. And there was also a mutation in August of 1918 or so, it's suspected, that made it much more virulent. I'm very scared to hear about the R0 numbers, because those are really high transmission numbers. I think Spanish flu that amounted to something like 50% transmission. Does that sound right, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on the low end,
that's kind of terrifying. And the other, on the low end,
on the low end of the R0 value, it's 50%.
And the other thing, the other thing that really freaked me out is there's one study published thus far about this virus. It was published 3 days ago by The Lancet. And granted, it's limited information because it was only done with the first 41 subjects. But one of the things that really freaked me out about that study is that Clearly, for all infected people, there is a cytokine storm that occurs, and this also occurred with the Spanish flu. And basically what that means is that your immune system is working so hard that your lungs and a lot of the rest of your body is flooded with this material from your immune system, and you're kind of almost dying because of your own immune system. So with the Spanish flu, by far and large, it killed more healthy people between the ages of 20 and 40, and not so much older people who had other health problems. And it looks like, despite what the mainstream news is saying, that is happening here also. I mean, granted, again, that study is very small. It's just 41 subjects.
Much love, Max.
But,
take care.
You know, something like a third of people between 25 and 49 needed to go to the ICU, whereas the next age group up, which was like 50 to 64, it was only maybe like a quarter of those people. Additionally,
Cheers,
we're talking
Pats fan.
about how this is, you know, oh, it's really only affecting the elderly and people with serious otherwise health issues, but that was not the case in the data from the first study at all. A third of those people had underlying health problems that amounted to all of 13 people. So I'm not really buying the line that we usually hear that's kind of like what we hear about flu. Oh, you know, you're really most at risk if you're really young or you're really old. Additionally, in the last 24 hours, there's been nothing in the mainstream news about how many more deaths. Last night I was seeing a number, the highest number I saw was about 80 or to 82, and it's still sitting there about 20 hours later. And they're reporting, you know, something shy of 3,000 infected at the moment. I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me, and I'm not buying it, and I'm finding this actually pretty scary.
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
with that transmission rate.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was also a report in the same journal about individuals that have diabetes and hypertension. They have a tendency to have worse outcomes. So I think, you know, I guess the point is that we if an area is not infected and an individual can kind of somewhat prep, all right, just try to not have an immune system that is somewhat compromised. You know, you want to be at your peak. You know, because if you just a slight cold, you know, that's totally unrelated to, you know, just unrelated to the coronavirus, your immune system goes down and you won't be able to fight it as well. But I agree with you that it's not just the elderly and it's not just the very young that are going to be affected. But here's the switch, all right? If this is to institute a global vaccination program that many WHO individuals seem to want to promote, this information that you're showing is saying, well, we shouldn't just vaccinate the elderly or the young. We should be vaccinating the whole population. You know, you know, this big point here. So I'm concerned because, you know, there's about 5 or 6 types of vaccinations there is a video that I created that individuals can watch to understand, but there's attenuated viruses that are made in chicken embryos, and there's killed viruses that are put into your body. But they're really promoting in the media now, in the news media, this novel platform, they call it. All right, everything seems to be novel these days. Novel viruses and novel platforms for vaccinations.
What does that mean?
But well, novel means new, but the point, the thing is that they're making a platform with what is an RNA vaccination, and there's 2 types where you take the RNA and you put it into your tissue, you know, near your muscles or into your bloodstream, and that RNA would be incorporated into a cell that presents it to the T cells. So it's like it gets eaten up by like a macrophage, or it gets eaten up by a cell, and it's presented to the immune system to build an immunity to this
Much
RNA.
love,
Now you got to remember,
Tams.
this virus
Keep
is an
pimping
RNA
that shit.
virus. Some viruses are DNA, but this is an RNA, a single strand RNA virus. So they want to make vaccinations that are RNA based, not attenuated or killed viruses or subunit conjugated viruses. So they're basically saying, okay, we're going to take this genomic sequence that China gave us, and we're going to make a vaccination from that sequence, create a piece of this RNA, pump it into your blood, and hopefully you get an immune response. And oh, by the way, I believe it's Johnson & Johnson, but it might be another biotech company. I could be wrong.
Well, no, there's an article. Let me jump in there. Let me jump in on that, because Johnson & Johnson said, don't worry, we can probably make a vaccine.
Right. So, but there's a few companies out there that are doing this. But
Will you
Johnson
just look at it?
Yeah, if I could, let me jump in here. And in layman's terms, an RNA vaccine is not a dead version of the actual virus. This is almost like Monsanto stuff. This is where they put it into your body, Rex. They put an RNA replicator of the virus into your cell in your body, and then your own mitochondrial DNA replicates this in your body to get a response. Any of these vaccines that come out will only be a phase 1 test. They're going to just give it to 10 people. If they don't die, then they'll be like, it's good.
That sounds so good. Can you add some extra thimerosal in there, please? Please give me the extra thimerosal with that. It's only because they love you, man. It's because they love you so much.
Just to add to what Diamond's saying, sometimes these DNA viruses will not go into these cells. So what they do is they couple it, they conjugate it with the S protein or something similar. So it attaches to the cell, and the cell will bring it in through endocytosis. It'll suck it in, and then the RNA is brought in. So it's kind of like a little piece of the virus. So there's these two platforms that they're working with: just a straight RNA virus that's just, pushed into your body, into your bloodstream, or a conjugated one where it has this S protein component to it, and then it adds to the efficacy of it going into the cell for, quote, an immune response. So I am concerned because there's not a lot of data, like Diamond's saying. There's not a lot of long-term longitudinal data on the effects of RNA vaccinations.
Thank you for sending that email, Kipler.
Data on attenuated viruses and the problems that happen with that, because you're dealing with live viruses. We have data on killed viruses through formaldehyde, but there's not a lot.
Cheers,
of data
Grokoski. Hey, what's up, homie?
So we have this pandemic. Everyone
Grandma
is forced,
Moses, hola love,
quarantined and forced to take a RNA vaccination of some sort, and we don't even know what the long-term effects are.
Look,
It's now the apocalypse.
I agree, Kipper.
Let me jump in real quick. I mean, if they promise to microchip me at the same time, then I will feel so much better about it. If they're like, look, we're going to give you the protective vaccine, but we also want to give you an extra dose of microchips just to track the levels, I will feel so much better. I will say, geez, please show me where I can plug into the Borg master. I know you love me. Anyway, what were you saying? Just because they love us, dude. They're protecting us from ourselves.
They love you so much.
There, like I said, there's many pillars of concern on this. There's a pillar of an uber government concern. There's social unrest.
That's
when
right.
are
ZBT survival.
packed into
Indeed.
a confined area for 15 days or 1 month, and they start to run out of food and stuff like that. They get, little schizoid.
Let's go into a role play.
Right.
Let's say the World Health Organization jumps in here and they want to now shut everything down globally. They'll shut down traffic. What happens there initially is the whole world is going to go bankrupt simply because money will stop flowing. And then people will start to starve. This will roll out very quickly in a bad way. And then those local governments will have control. The globalism could immediately be enacted where then the police state regulates food, and everyone has a booklet on rations, and you can't move around, and then they quarantine us all in cities. This could literally happen in a few weeks, just like before anyone even knows what's happening. There's no food in the stores, you can't travel, stock markets collapse, and you're stuck right where you are.
Right. And you're right. I mean, a lot of these corporations deal with the commercial paper market, and they have to roll over debt, and that's how they finance their operations. When you have a stressed banking system, we saw this with the Lehman crash. You know, the whole commercial paper market basically shut down, and that was the start of the layoffs. So, you know, you're talking about plants shutting down because they can't get material because everything's just in time. You can't roll over, your commercial paper. The stock market starts to go down. People start pulling money out of their funds. The banking system, we already have seen in the last few months, certain banks having IT issues where people can't get money out of the ATM or look up their bank account information. That's happened with Bank of America. I bank with Bank of America, so it happened to me. But Citibank was also another one. But that is in an economy that's doing well. At least we're told we're doing well. I mean, a lot more people are employed. But can you just imagine? It's like Lehman times like 10, where it's not just the fear. It's not just the fear of the banking industry. You just go out, you can die. So it's like Lehman and the Spanish flu hitting at the same time.
You know what? You brought up a great point there, and you have so much knowledge in the financial markets because that's what you do. And I'm thinking to myself, why would they not use this as a great opportunity? The MFers, the money funders, why would they not use this as a great opportunity?
I love that. The money funders, MFers,
completely new digital dollar. Hand in that $100 bill you got. We'll give you 80 digital credits. We'll convert that piece of paper into 80 digital credits, and you won't have to worry about getting sick. You won't have to worry about getting a bug or washing your hands.
Get her done.
You walk up to the ATM and it reads your brain and it, okay, give him credits. Oh no, he thinks too much. Take him credits. Fine him. He is thinking for himself. Take his credits now.
Take him away.
Do not assimilate.
So, I mean, you're right. I mean, there is some data points that we've seen in the late 1920s and early 1930s. So the transition between Hoover and Roosevelt, there was
I need some of that Grosse
taking place.
Just saying.
There was pressure because they were on the gold standard at that time, where New York banks were losing gold. They basically were flowing out of the country. So Roosevelt actually, started instituting plans to curtail that flow of gold. Now, we don't live in a gold environment anymore. We live in a fiat world environment. But you're right, Rex. The IMF, I believe, was 2 years ago, and I did a video on this. But there is a white paper from the IMF they call decashing. Okay, so if someone wants to just type IMF white paper or working paper decashing, there's lots of research from these economists that work at the IMF that are trying to institute something called decashing, which is what we would call a digital dollar. Okay, and part of the reason is that the petrodollar is being stressed. All right, because other nations are saying we're not going to trade oil with American dollars. We're going to trade it with.
Cheers, Gromigo.
So
they can trade it with Bitcoin. Hello.
Yeah, so
Hello.
the issue is that the petrodollar hegemony is
Hello.
at risk here. So there are individuals saying, well,
Is anybody there?
Is anybody there? The economy in such a way where we're going to go into a decashing of the society. All right. And that would be more efficient because we're a more digital society. But here's the problem that I have. And this goes right in line with some of the things that Diamond has been publishing and you have been publishing about, plasma discharges and grid shutdowns. If everything is digital, we're more at risk. If all of your finances are digital and we have a grid shutdown, you lose all your money. You need something that is tangible. I mean, so there's a great book that Dr. Taleb, Nissan Taleb wrote. It was called Anti-Fragile. And that is, as societies grow, they become more fragile. And the only way to be anti-fragile is to be more material, to not be so digital, not to have all these fragile connections.
I love the sincerity in his face.
I think in moving forward. But what were you saying, Rex?
Just real quick, I wanted to throw this in here. So a digital dollar, if it was centralized, right? If you've got a centralized digital dollar, you could say, wow, man, that almost sounds biblical, like the mark of the beast. Nobody can buy or sell without it. But the problem is, if it's for the MFers anyway, if you've got a decentralized system, if you have a decentralized system like Bitcoin or something similar to Bitcoin, where it's umbrella, it's decentralized, they don't have the control like they do here. So they want to have something that's completely centralized under their control, that's digital, and that is their way to compete against something like Bitcoin, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Now, gold, brilliant. Silver, brilliant. Seeds, amazing. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Diversify.
Hola,
I think
Jenny.
this right here is huge.
Papa Dabs. Cheers, guys.
But Diamond would say about,
there is no security in those digital dollars. If the sun outbursts like it did in '89, or something like the 2012 outburst that went the opposite direction, not towards us, and the grid gets hit, you could have like trillions of dollars wiped out ad infinitum on half of the globe, and then other countries could literally take over the planet in a second. There's something hokey about crypto, and I'm in it because it's not only is it soaring today and it's going to go up all the way through the year, but I'm going to also get out and I'm going to change that over into real money where I could buy stuff and prepare for the inevitable. And hopefully this outbreak does not.
He kept muting himself
you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. And that's what people need to realize is when you talk about cryptos, you muted yourself at the end. I don't know if you got upset at yourself. You're like, I'm just going to mute myself. No, I'm joking. I've done that before too. I'm getting into it and I hit the mute button on accident. And I was like, maybe it was meant to be. Maybe I was. But anyways, yeah, that's great. But you're also keeping track of the trends and you've done very good with crypto. So if you're looking at crypto and you're going to buy it to last you 50 years, and it may not be there in 50 years. Where is it going to be at the end of the year, though?
Scott,
where is it going to be in a couple
Bush.
It seems. Where do you think it's going to be in a couple weeks, Dr. Paul? I mean, geez, this is kind of your forte.
I kind of stay away from
Thank you guys for being here.
The reason being is
I do appreciate it. Trust and believe.
A central bank is never going to give
That's
up
right. Glenn and
power.
Maureen, mute yourselves, damn it.
Bitcoin is an attack on their power of fiat. The problem, at least at an academic level with Bitcoin, I see is that it's once we reach or get close to maximum coinage, minting of the Bitcoin, if your society is growing at a certain rate, you're going to have more coins for it to be the lubricant for the society to exchange goods. And this is the reason why gold was a problem, is that, well, it was somewhat fixed because it was based on how much gold was mined, how much was found. But societies ebb and flow at different rates than the actual mining of the gold. So that lend itself to a more fiat type of central banking system. I agree with you that there's a lot of centralization with the banks, and there's a lot of funny things that go on, but being a strict gold bug or a strict Bitcoin bug, you have to have your monetary supply grow at about the same rate as your GDP growth. If the monetary base doesn't grow, then you actually have a contractionary monetary base. So there's been a lot of research done by economists studying the Japanese market because it's depressionary since the early 1990s on this monetary base issue. But it's just, you need to have a monetary base to grow with the economy. And unless a system is in place where it's reading the economy in real time, which is theoretically possible by POS, point of service. But if you are purchase of service, you can read what's going on in the whole economy and predict the next time period how much money you need. And the monetary base fluctuates based on the artificial algorithm predicting the growth, the ebb and flow of the GDP. So you don't have inflation.
Just don't pimp that shit, Paul.
Bitcoin is like gold in the sense that it's fixed. They would have to cut them. They would have to debase.
Cheers, everybody. Much love. Thank you for being here.
To allow for a growing economy. Maybe I'm not making any sense to people, but the point is that I stay away from crypto for two reasons. For that, because it's a fixed system. But the other issue that I have with the other issue that I have with crypto is that it's meta-tagged. There's metadata. So if you have algorithms that can track the ledger of these coins, then you can basically track individuals. You can't track me if I'm spending Benjamin Franklin's, but you can track me if I'm spending Bitcoin. And I don't believe in a surveillance. I don't believe in a surveillance state. I don't believe.
If they had surveillance on your money, they could, because there's serial numbers and there's tracking.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, they could have. Yeah, but I'm just saying that, if I'm going to a region with some coins or some dollar bills, it's harder for them to track than the spending a digital currency of whatever it is. It's either Bitcoin or from the central bank. But you're right, Rex. The central banks want a centralized system. The Federal Reserve is not federal, and it's not a reserve. They want control, right? I'm concerned about the fragility of Bitcoin because it's digital. If you have a power outage, you can't spend it. And I'm concerned about the surveillance potentiality of it, on top of just it's somewhat of a fixed monetary base that I come from the economic theory that you need to have a growing monetary base that's in line with your GDP growth, and it needs to be reduced when you have lower GDP growth, like, for example, a declining society because of age or whatever. But most societies grow at some pace. But you don't want your monetary base to grow at 5% while your economy is only growing at 2%. You have a 3% inflation rate. So I stay away from it. I understand individuals can trade it and make money. I get that. But I just fundamentally just kind of stay away from it.
And I respect that. However, I did read somebody that made a ridiculous comment in the comment section. Rex, You've lost this argument before you even start it. So just listen to the man and learn. Excuse me, Louis, but what am I supposed to listen to? And what argument did I lose according to your master expertise here? Because you're obviously the expert, Louis. So please tell me.
Louis the expert.
So on that note, I just love it when people, everybody's an expert except for me. I don't know anything.
That's right.
That's right. Thank you, Louis. I appreciate that because you're so amazing that you can leave that comment on the internets.
I'm sorry to hear that, Coasty Paw.
Podcast coming up here in about 12 minutes. So
you guys are funny.
Definitely like to
much
hear
love, everybody,
some
for real.
Final words on the coronavirus, and I would like to get your take on this, Paul. First off, what is your prediction? And Paul, you're awesome, dude. I think you're a legend. So I thank you very much for being a guest on the show, and I respect your opinion on cryptos. I think that's totally awesome. I respect everybody's opinion, and that's because that's yours. You've got yours, and I've got mine. If we all thought the same way, then we'd be the Borg, and I think that'd be pretty darn boring. So it's good to think
that
of ourselves.
Part.
When somebody says I lost an argument, please explain to me how I lost and what the argument was, and how did I lose an argument before it even got started? Because there was no argument. Wow. I just got triggered a little bit. That was amazing. Felt good.
Definitely triggered.
Oh, love it. Woo! Freedom! All right, please continue. Your predictions. My predictions is it's going to be like the swine flu. Maybe a little bit worse. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as a lot of people think. I think it's going to take its course, and I think that people are going to move on. I think it's going to be okay. That's my prediction. My opinion.
Well,
yours, Paul.
If the mutation of the Wuhan strain was through natural selection, then I would agree with you that most likely we're going to see similar epidemiology to the swine flu with this new strain. But if it is what I think it is, which is bioengineered, then we probably will have a much larger effect rate. Individuals are going to be have this deep pneumonia type infection.
Thank you so much, George. I just saw that. I really appreciate you, my friend. Cheers. Thank you.
Most likely will not survive it. So I'm not saying that there's going to be millions of people dying from this, but it's very possible to see many hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, I can agree with him. I'm going to agree with Dr. Paul, but I'm going to lean towards the fact that it could be a biological leak. Everything is leaning towards that from all the leak sources. The fact that there is an actual building in the center of Wuhan where they make biological weapons and deal with these viruses. And you have to watch it. So like we say on the channel, proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Get prepared, get food if you don't have it in your house. Get prepared for being on lockdown. Because if it gets bad, there will be police state, martial law, and you won't be able to go anywhere. And people will panic and they will buy out the stores. So be prepared, not scared.
That's great,
if it
Jenny.
is a pandemic, 3% will die. And depending on who you've interacted with, you can raise or lower your safety. You can always eat lots of nutritious food and boost your immune system to prepare for this. So it's anyone's guess where it will go. I think that there are already 100,000 or more infected. It'll probably make
be
it to
a prepper
million,
now. Exactly.
The Chinese government is going to be blamed.
Be prepared, not scared, everybody. For real. That's the point of this stream. He cut himself off early again.
Diamond just muted himself early again. I'm a little, if the transmission rate really is what Paul is calculating at this point, that's pretty scary. What's left that is unknown is the mortality rate. Spanish flu was something like 10 to 20%, which is pretty darn high. This first Lancet study, again, very small sample, 41 people, so not conclusive of anything, but that death rate was 15%, which is pretty high. So if it stays at 3%, that's pretty good, and it'll probably fizzle out sooner rather than later, but I think it's just really too early to tell. And like Diamond was saying, preparation is everything here. We were talking about the monetary preparation. I mean, my thing is sort of create your own economy, diversify as much as possible. I put tons of money into land, into precious metals, into bullets, beans, physical things that I can trade with my neighbors. And I'm doing that for a lot of different reasons, but pandemic is certainly not out of the question. We are way, way overdue for a pandemic. Again, our last pandemic was Spanish flu in 1918. And we really are overdue, and the ramifications of pandemic could be very bad, given that there are now 7.8 billion people on the planet. There were 1.8 billion people on the planet during the Spanish flu, and air travel wasn't even a factor. So hopefully it's not more than a 3% mortality rate, because if it is, this could get very ugly. Also, I just wanted to say too that the sequence of this is that it is divided into big chunks, that it wasn't like a nucleotide at a time changing. I do find that extremely suspicious and strange. I doubt that could happen in nature, but.
Right. Just to add what you were saying, I mean, you're right. And normally you have these single nucleotide polymorphisms. So, or like just a few nucleotides changing. But these big chunks are just a sign that, hey, there was some sort of recombinating engineering going on with this genome. I'm just saying that I'm looking at just. Yeah, well, I'm looking at the probabilities of it just being a natural selected kind of situation, and I don't believe it. I don't believe that it was naturally selected. I believe it was bioengineered.
I found out what Louis thought the argument was about. Louis claims that the virus was caught from somebody getting it on with an animal. And wow, did I ever even make that claim? I didn't even know we were talking about that. So what in the world? And no, and I guess I should even read through the comments sometimes, because certain things, I don't know why that triggered me when somebody left a comment about, oh man, you've already lost that argument, Rex. Don't even try, just listen. Anyway, so I shouldn't have even let that affect me. And definitely that's nothing more than swamp gas from Uranus. I don't need anything to do with that. It's stinky. But don't worry, Louis, we still love you, man. I'm sure you've got something going on there somewhere that's worth something. So, dude, Dr. Paul, you are amazing. I would love to have you back as a guest on Leap Project. I really appreciate you, taking time out of your schedule to talk to us about this. And Leah, thank you very much. Diamond, thank you very much. And let's do this again.
All right. Yep, definitely.
Excellent.
Awesome.
But Rex, I just wanted to mention one thing for everybody, because, I just want to help people. That's the whole point of this. All right. And if we look at the incubation period that they're stating in the news right now, between 1 day to 14 days before you even show signs, that means to be really prepared, like what Diamond's saying. You have to, at a very minimum, need 2 weeks worth of supplies for food, toiletries, and stuff. But if you have it, during this incubation period, and then you actually catch the virus, and it takes you to, sometimes people have a flu for a week or 2 or 3 weeks, right? You need like 5 weeks worth of supplies. Most people do not have that in their pantry. And I don't leave it at that,
Stony.
But I'm just saying, if there is a lockdown, or individuals want to just stay at home during these incubation periods, they can't go out. There's not going to be enough masks and all that. So you're gonna need supplies. So just slowly. Right now we're somewhat,
much love, old timer, but I'd appreciate you
epicenter.
Resisting your obnoxious comments. Thank you very much, my friend.
And we don't know how this might just explode, but I just want people to be prepared, because we're a community, right? We're a little community and a larger community. So it's better. I just want people to be prepared, and to think that there is a huge incubation period here on top of actually being sick with it. So you have to have about 5 weeks worth of provisions.
It's also an incubation period in which infected people might actually be contagious. And for a 12-day incubation period or a 14-day, that is very scary.
Right.
That's
right,
bad.
right,
That's the
right.
case.
And the thing is if there is an outbreak in, let's say, a city like New York, you're talking about not just a lockdown for 14 days. You're talking about this virus moving around in a closed environment that could stretch out for 6 months before it burns
12
itself
to
out.
14
This is not
days,
something-
Stoney.
I mean, just think about what happens at work for a normal flu season. There's usually about 2 months where the flu is just slowly moving around the organization, depending on the size of the organization you work for, right? This is much worse. So
I was going to talk about that in a second, Irene.
People need to be prepared that there could be a lockdown in the United States. Don't think it's just going to be in China. So, I just hope, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be proven wrong. But if I'm right, please be prepared.
And I'm just going to say also in closing,
Indeed,
that you got to have good thoughts to get the placebo effect. If you got bad thoughts, you can have the nocebo effect, which is
100.
the opposite. And you can think yourself healthy, you can think yourself sick. So be prepared, do things that are just common sense. And Louis, we love you, man. Thank you very much for being here. And those troll comments were beautiful. I appreciate that. And somebody said, Rex, I know what the problem is. You need to go eat fungus. It'll get rid of the ego. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good call. Maybe I'll try that. Hello. Be excellent to each other, everybody.
Hello.
And be the change you want to see. And I've got another interview coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you.
Leakproject.com.
Thanks for hosting, Rex. Thanks, Paul.
Bye-bye.
I'll make sure to comment on that video and ask what he uses in his hair, Jenny, by the way. Just wanted to say. And thank you guys, for real, for being here. And definitely pimping that shit. That's for sure. The thing that I did want to discuss after this was going to be what should we do in order to prepare for anything like this, or make it to where we can actually be ready for a catastrophe or something like this if it were to happen, And in my opinion, what you should really, really do is make sure that you have backup water. You know what I mean? You have water. You have some kind of food, whether it be a bunch of canned food or not, some kind of something that you'll be able to feed yourself. And a lot of people like to say, make sure you have 2 weeks worth of whatever. In my opinion, excuse me, in my opinion, I know this sounds a little like much, but be real and at least try to prepare for 2 months, 8 weeks, because think of how long it takes for something like this to actually sort itself out, if it actually could. You know what I mean? My Gromigo Grose in Chatland said, oregano oil, colloidal silver, tea tree oil, grapeseed extract oil, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, and grow as much food as you can. Dude, that's perfect. Thank you so much, for real, for throwing that out there, because I really appreciate that. And he is correct, 100%. Let me make sure I highlight that comment. Where'd it go? Oh, it went away. It went away. Oh, that's why I'm all like, what happened to my comment? Yes. So thank you, all of you, for real, for being here. This one wasn't about hanging out or getting medicated or making music or anything like this. This was honestly, in my opinion, information that needs to be shared. I'm kind of worried about this one. I'm not gonna lie, and it's because of the potential it actually has on causing havoc across the planet. It already is, you know? And I'm just gonna say, I know my immune system isn't up to par. You know what I mean? And it's gonna really suck if something like that were to happen, you know? And I couldn't be able to keep going on because of it, we'll just say, you know? And it's sad that there's so many that really don't give a damn about any of this. You know what I mean? And I just really, really hope that people can actually start to try to make a change, you know? Man. Is there anything else that anybody else would like to comment or chat about in Chatland? I know that Kipper, I believe his name was Kipper. I think I said Kipler earlier, but he ended up sharing an email with me, and what it was about was it says the coronavirus may have originated in a lab linked to China's biowarfare program. I'll go ahead and share that with you guys really quick. All right. Got to show it. Come on now. So it says the deadly animal-borne coronavirus spreading globally may have originated in a laboratory in the city of Wuhan, linked to China's covert biological weapons program, said an Israeli biological warfare analyst. Radio Free Asia last week rebroadcast a Wuhan television report from 2015 showing China's most advanced virus research laboratory, known the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The laboratory is the only declared site in China capable of working with deadly viruses. Danny Shoham, a former Israeli military intelligence officer, who has studied Chinese biological warfare, said the institute is linked to Beijing's covert bioweapons program. Certain laboratories in the institute have probably been engaged in terms of research and development in Chinese biological weapons, at least collaterally, yet not as a principal facility of the Chinese BW alignment, Mr. Shoham told the Washington Times. Work on biological weapons is conducted as part of dual civilian military research and is definitely covert, he said in an email. Mr. Shoham holds a doctorate in medical microbiology from 1970 to 91. He was a senior analyst with Israeli military intelligence for biological and chemical welfare in the Middle East and worldwide. He held the rank of lieutenant colonel. China has denied having any offensive biological weapons, but a State Department report last year revealed suspicions of covert biological warfare work. A Chinese embassy spokesman did not return an email seeking comment. And so I honestly agree and feel as though I feel as though that has a lot of relevance to do with what's going on, especially with how close it is to where this is going on, you know? Let's see, let me go through chat really quick. We are eternal beings. That's right, my friend. I really do appreciate all of you guys being here. Water is the toughest to store, depends on where you live. I used to have 10 years supply, including water. Damn, and had enough for about 10 people, long as they had the skills promised. Nice. Baking soda kills infections internally, kills candida, fungal imbalances, ACV balances, green nourish good bacteria. Greens nourish good bacteria. Okay, good to know. Lemon juice is very good for you, creating a more alkaline system instead of a toxic, acidic system of disease. Exactly, because just like how you pH level your water and stuff like that, you end up, yeah, don't forget the can opener, for real, and rope. But sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. But, phew, man, I'm sorry, guys. There's just a lot of shit going on, you know? And I just hope for freaking peace and love. And honestly, having stupid people to deal with on top of it, is a little annoying sometimes. Just saying. So, exactly. Spread positivity, not the fear of virus. That's right, my friend. Indeed. It's just sad because there's so many things going on nowadays, you know? And then to have stupid petty shit like trolls come in your chat, you know, when you're trying to share important information that could even save their lives, literally, it's kind of sad. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You know what I mean? It's kind of, it's not kind of sad. It's kind of fucking pathetic, just being honest, because you got to come into a chat like this to do that, you know? And I just think people need to realize we're not promised tomorrow. We really aren't, you know? And people can only do so much with what they have when they have it, if they have the opportunity and chance to have it, you know? So be grateful and thankful for what you have while you have it, because you're not promised that next moment. You know what I mean? So, man, what's up, Austin? Thanks for being here as well, you guys. Yep, that's crazy, you guys. What's up, bad boy? Pimping that shit, bad boy. Bad boy. I had to, sorry. Smile, it's easy. No. Let's roll one and spread positivity. There we go. Across the universe. Indeed, my friend. Woo woo, put on that. No. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you guys are freaking awesome. I do appreciate you guys being here and hanging out, sitting here and going over this information with me. You know what I mean? It is very valuable, and I just hope that people can learn how to come together and truly do, in my opinion, what we're here to do, and that's love. You know what I mean? And yeah. Whew. Oh wow, I gotta open this in my other browser. 1 second, guys. Okay, and so I'm gonna have this awesome little computer thingamabobber read this for me. Hopefully you guys can hear it too.
A new coronavirus, Designated 2019 nCoV-4 was identified in Wuhan, Hubei province, China, after people developed pneumonia without a clear cause and for which existing vaccines or treatments were not effective. The virus has shown evidence of human-to-human transmission, and its transmission rate of infection, 5 appeared to escalate in mid-January 2026, with several countries other than China reporting cases. The incubation period, time from exposure to developing symptoms, of the virus is between 2 and 14 days, and it remains contagious during this time. 7-8 symptoms include fever, coughing and breathing difficulties, and it can be fatal. 9. Wuhan was placed under quarantine on January 23, in which all public transport in and out has been suspended. 10-11 thereafter, transportation in at least 15 other cities in Hubei province have also been halted in a similar fashion. 12 Many New Year events were closed over fear of transmission, including the Forbidden City in Beijing, traditional temple fairs, and other celebratory gatherings. 13 Hong Kong also raised their infectious disease response level to the highest level and declared an emergency, closed its schools until mid-February, and cancelled its New Year celebrations. 14-15 A number of countries have put out travel advisories warning against travel to Wuhan and/or Hubei province. 16 travelers who have visited mainland China have been requested to monitor their health for at least 2 weeks and contact their healthcare provider to report any symptoms of the virus. 17 Anyone who suspects themselves to carry the virus are advised to wear a protective mask and seek medical advice by calling a doctor rather than directly visiting the clinic in person. 18 The travel sector has been providing refunds and no-fee cancellation for reservations in China or by people from China. 19 Airports and train stations have implemented temperature checks, health declarations, and information signage in an attempt to identify carriers of the virus. 20 Chinese scientists were able to isolate a strain of the new coronavirus quickly, with the genetic sequence being made available for laboratories across the world to independently develop PCR tests that can confirm infection in a person. 21 22 23 24 of the first 41 people confirmed by real-time RT-PCR and next-generation sequencing to have been infected. 2/3 were found to have a link with the Huanan seafood wholesale market, which also sold live animals. 25 26 27 28 The seventh member of the coronavirus family to infect humans. 2019 CoV's genome sequence has been reported to be 75 to 80% identical to SARS-CoV, and more than 85% similar to several bat coronaviruses. 29-30 Whether this virus is of the same severity or lethality as SARS is unclear. 21 22 23 24 Extensive testing in mid to late January has revealed over 2,800 confirmed cases in China, some of whom were working in healthcare. 31-32 confirmed cases have been reported by several countries across Asia. 31 Oceania. 33 Europe. 34 and North America. 35 The first confirmed death from the coronavirus infection occurred on 9 January. 36 By January 28, the number of deaths due to 2019 nCoV stood at more than 100, all in China. 37 Contents. 1 Context. 2 4 Chronology.
All right, and so that was that. That was actually the definition of coronavirus per WikiLeaks. Thank you again, Kipler, for sharing that with my friend. Thank you for sharing that with me, my friend. Thank you so much, Jennifer, sweet. I appreciate that. You be pimping that shit. And thank you for the compliment, bad boy. Appreciate that. The universe is a computer. We are VR, the simulation. I can remember a day when smiling wasn't easy at all. Indeed. You're staying away from people. I already do that. Welcome to the club, Irene. No. You're too funny. That's not me showing the mask. This is me. That's not me. Wash your hands. Make sure. Indeed. Make sure to wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Keep your hands to your damn self, too. You guys are freaking great. For reals. The fear of the virus will help make people isolate themselves and go into virtual reality even more. Social media loves it.
Just saying. Hey, you go. Hey.
2020 just started. I know, my friend. I know. Thank you for clearing that up. That's right. Welcome, Pammy, as well. Thank you very much. Hands, nose, around your eyes. Colloidal silver. Yeah, colloidal silver is actually a really cool thing that helps out. Jacob washes his hands. And good job on that work you were doing for that store, Jacob. For real. Just gotta throw that out there. You guys are funny. Ernie and Bad Boy were one right after another. No. Pimping that shit with mother. No. I'm just kidding. In your eyes, they still use silver paste on newborn babies' eyes when they're born. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. So several places in Asia have it. My niece is in Malaysia and somewhere else there recently. Her partner is from somewhere there. Ah. Grimy, grimy gopher guts. Which part? Grimy, grimy gopher guts? Grimy, grimy gopher guts. Grofer. Grimy, grimy gopher guts. Not going nuts. I'm gonna stop because I was gonna say something else. But, no. I'm just kidding. So that's what was used to be on babies' eyes back in the day. Yep. Back in the day, they used it on their eyes and they're not a kid anymore. I'm just kidding. But, gonna take a freaking hit with you guys. Not anybody's near me, right? Day of the cloth diapers. Oh my God. Ooh. Believe it or not, we ended up being pretty much poor growing up, you know what I mean? And so I actually experienced what cloth diapers were when I was a kid myself because my mom used them on my brothers. So that wasn't fun. Just saying. Yes. You guys are awesome. That is right. The world needs more laughter. Indeed. Here, I'll say that with awesomeness behind it. Woo! That part definitely needs more laughter. Hey, yeah. Are you pimping that shit? I hope so. That part, Dorito and the Lucha Cabre. Cheers, buddy. Hope you are well. You guys be pimping that shit, tummies. That dude was pretty funny, by the way. Just saying. I thought it was great. Spark him if you got him. Thanks, my friends. I appreciate you guys being here for reals. Like I said, I honestly just felt as though this was very important information that needed to be shared. I needed to get this out there. Like, I felt very adamant about it. You know what I mean? And it just, I don't know. It was just something hit me, and I'm just like, you know what? I need to get ready, and I need to share this live. Straight up, you know? Hey, it was just 420 somewhere. Pimp that shit. Never late. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Bugs and Hazard! Pimpin' indeed, homie.
So, you guys, I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Thank you so much again for being here. If you guys can, please share out this information. You don't necessarily have to share my video, but definitely please tell somebody. You know what I mean? Word of mouth actually goes very far. It travels. It travels. That part. So, without further ado, it's time for some to go nighty-night.
Not I, though. I'm gonna go to the store and prepare. Not be scared. Don't be scared.
Be prepared. Hey.
voices carry. 'Cause if you didn't know, you're gonna learn today. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it.
Make sure that you guys keep on pimping that shit.
And remember, are you ready to play? I will check my email again, my friend. I just read the Wikipedia thing you sent me, and I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Keep pimping that shit. Till next time, I'll see you later. I love you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. Love you, family. For real.
All the love in the world from this blondie, from my house to yours.
It's by design.